What's up, Positosis players? What is up? What's up? It's your boy CT Chris Toledo in the house. Welcome everybody to the Positosis Podcast, Season 2, Episode 17. All right, Positosis players, we got a special guest in the house today. Make some noise. Give it up for our guest today, Metroverse.
Yeah, what up? It's your boy Young Metroverse checking in here, man. Son of the host, CT, here with the Positosis Podcast. Yeah, man, let's get it going.
Oh, Metroverse. Hey, first of all, thank you. Shout out for coming on to the podcast. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump straight in. Metroverse. Me and the Positosis players, we want to hear about what it takes to, first of all, what it means and what it takes to level up.
Yeah, you know, with the level up, you just got to commit to yourself and commit to the process and cut out all the distractions and just, you know, you just gotta do it. You know, it's different for everyone. You know, you got to just tap in and do it, you know.
Yeah, I like what you say. You know, you said eliminate the distractions. So for the Positosis players out there, some of them might be saying, okay, well, like, what does that exactly, what does that mean? Tune out the distractions.
I would say in my experience, the distractions is mainly just what other people's opinions and other people's perspectives and what they think I should and shouldn't be doing. Just, you know, whatever you feel like you got to do, just do it, you know, and just don't listen to anyone else.
Yeah, you know what, I feel you, and I got to tell you, over the course of my life, you know, I've always had those things where I've told myself, yeah, I want to go ahead and level up. I want to take the thing that I'm currently doing, and I want to take it to the next level. For example, being a keynote speaker, like, I want to level up. I want to be the best in the world. And there's been some people that have been super supportive and others that have not. So maybe Metroverse, like, kick it down to us. Maybe for the people that aren't exactly feeling your vibe, like, how do you tune out that distraction? How do you do it?
I guess to elaborate on what I said before, it's not to not listen to anyone, you know, hear other people's advice, but if it doesn't resonate with you, you know, don't take it to heart. But I just mainly don't focus on those people. For my process, I'm not thinking about what other people are doing or what music other people are making. I'm just focusing on myself. So mainly just, you know, those other people don't really exist to me, you know. So it's not that they're not cool and they're not doing their thing, but in my reality, it's like, it's just me, you know, and not to be too narrow-minded, but, you know, it's like, you know, you got to just focus on what you're doing and not trying to be better or worse than anyone else. Just keep trying to do the best that you can, and eventually, you know, you have your own thing going, and, you know, that's kind of what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I really love what you said, you know, and just doing the best that you can do. I love that, and to me, it's just about, like, having that passion for what you do and focusing on that. And, you know, even sometimes, even Metroverse, I even think to the point, even people that, like, are your biggest fans, like your biggest supporters, even sometimes tune that out too and just stay focused on what you got going.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and to me, it's like, for my case, making music, it's like, I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone else, but, you know, for my music, I know what energy I'm putting into it. In my whole library now, I don't have any other songs. I literally, and that'll probably change at some point, but I listen to only my own music because I know what I put into it, and it's what I enjoy the most. I'm not saying everyone else is going to think it's the best or anyone else is going to think I'm the best, but to me, like, it's what I like the best. So I'm not thinking about other people, and so many people are trying to compete and think about other people are doing. It's like, I just don't really think about that, you know, and I just trust that at the right time, you know, it's the right things will align. But until, I don't care who listens or not. I'm not trying to get just people to listen. It's like, if you want to listen, you can, but if not, it doesn't matter to me because I'm doing it for me and knowing that it could also help other people. But until then, it's like, you know, they'll find it at the right time, you know.
So I think, well, first of all, I love what you just said. And if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying just basically to release the expectations.
Yeah.
And just be in it for the love of whatever it is that you're doing. You know what, Metroverse, you know, obviously, you know, you and I have had a lot of conversations on this certain topic, but one thing that you've told me over the course of many, many years is that, for example, when you're producing your music, like, you're infusing it with certain type of energy. All right, so expand on that. What are you talking about when you say, like, you're infusing your energy into your music?
Well, to me, when I'm, just also to elaborate, I'll answer that first. When I'm making my music, I'm tapping into a certain frequency, and I feel like I've tapped into my heart space. I found my heart space. And so when I'm making my music, I'm tapping into that. And there's a certain energy that I put into it. And other people can put whatever they want into their music, but it's like they don't have my exact frequency. And I found my frequency that I really enjoy, that feels good to me. So when I make my music, I can hit a certain spot within myself. Other people can't hit that spot. Maybe they can, but it's they're not me, and so they don't have that exact energy. And so I know what I'm getting when I'm listening to my music, and I realize you don't always know what energy people are putting into their creations. And like a lot of people in my, in my realm, like producers, they just want to get the biggest song with the biggest artist. They don't even care. I'm like, half these artists, most of these rappers, I don't mess with any of them, most of them. So it's like, I don't want to just get big just for the sake of being known. Like, I want to like do something that I rock with. So it's like, if I have an artist on my song, I want to have it be an artist that I actually like, support what their message is. Otherwise, it's like, to me, I don't want to put my energy in places that I don't really agree with, even if it means a slower process to get there. So, but for me, I just know that what I'm putting into my music is pure, and it resonates with me, and it feels good to me. So if it doesn't align with that, like, I'm good to not work with any other artists, And so, but I'm also open to it as well. There's a lot of other great artists, and not to be egotistical, but I know what I'm putting into it, and I know that the energy you put into it matters, and to me, it affects me. So, that's just about that. I just kind of just focus on that. And so I'm just kind of just a tunnel vision focus, if that, I don't know if that answered your question, but
yeah. Oh, that's a really that's a dope answer. And what it makes me feel like is, so we're talking about Metroverse, the music producer, and putting that high frequency, that love frequency into his creations. But if we're going to broaden that out to a bigger, broader spectrum to all you Positos players, hey, look, I know we got people from all over the place that are truck drivers, that are professional athletes, every walk of life, there's Positos players. And so I think the override message from Metroverse could be that, like, whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is your job is, whatever your assignment is, whatever it is that you're into, like, tune into to your frequency, to your intentional frequency, and infuse whatever you're doing into that. Man, it's Metroverse, I love it. And I also love the fact too, like, I was kicking it the other day, and down there the way at the park, there was a dude that was just raking the leaves, and I was watching him, and just like you put that love frequency into your music, like, that dude was like super loving on just scraping up the leaves into a perfect pile. And you could tell, like, it was infused with that frequency, like what you're talking about. So, man, that was super awesome.
Yeah. And to elaborate too, it's like, it's not to me, I don't really have any interest to listen to other artists. I'm just being honest, but that doesn't mean that there's not other talented music producers. There's other music producers who are so talented, are so good. I just don't really have any interest to listen to them. And that's not to judge them. And you shouldn't feel bad about being selective and, choosing to fine tune your frequency and maybe not associating with certain people or not listening to certain music. It's not that there's not other great music. There's other great musicians who are so talented, probably more talented than me, but I just don't have any interest to listen to them. And that's not a diss. It's just, it's okay to honor that. And the other thing is too, is like, I've realized with the frequency, it's like there's always an excuse to get mad or whatever it is. But to me, it feels better to feel on a high vibration and feel good. And so I've had to work to I just try to stay in that zone because it feels better. And I notice when I'm in that zone, I attract more positive energy. So, I don't know. Main thing is just don't feel bad for, fine tuning. And even if you don't want to listen to any other music besides your own, it doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that you found something you enjoy. And, like, there's so many other talented people, but just because I don't want to listen to their stuff doesn't mean that they're not good. It's just more, I'm just loving what I'm doing, so.
Okay, so first of all, Positos players, this message is so good. And when I hear Metroverse talking about that, yeah, of course, I'm hearing his story. But what I'm also hearing too is, for whatever it is that you're into, oftentimes, like, whatever is we're doing, we feel like we have to see how a bunch of other people are doing what we're doing, and we're going to try to do it better than them or do it like them. But I think one of the things that Metroverse is saying is that, man, he just believes in himself, and he's on that high frequency, and he's naturally being guided to being the best music producer in the world by tuning into himself. So I think a big message for all you out there is like, hey, yeah, of course it's good to collaborate. It's good to look to the left and to the right and to see who's doing what. But probably on a higher level, like, trusting in your process, believing in yourself, which brings me to the next point. So Metroverse, talk to me about belief.
Yeah, belief is, it's super important. You got to believe in yourself. And just one more thing, let me just elaborate on what we were just talking about as well. It's almost like, for me with my music, partially what I've been doing is, like, I make the music that I enjoy listening to the most. I've found a way to make music that I want to, like, that's my favorite to listen to. So it's not that I don't think anyone else is good, but I just, when you find that source within yourself, it's not about me trying to be better than anyone. It's like, I just have found what I love, and it's like, I can make what I love. And so that's mainly that. But as far as belief, just believing in yourself. Some people think some people put other people on a pedestal, and, you know, everyone starts, you know, from this pretty much the same place. You know, when I first started making music, I didn't know what I was doing. I was, you know, not very good, but, you know, you got to believe in yourself. But a big part of believing in yourself is staying patient, you know, and realizing that you're not going to become the best overnight. You got to put in the work and believing in yourself enough to give yourself a chance. Some people like don't give themselves a chance. They think, oh, well, you know, so-and-so did it, but I couldn't do that. It's like, well, that's your belief in the way. You got to believe that it's possible for you to get better. And it's like a seed, you know, you got to believe that, okay, you plant that seed. You might not see the tree or whatever it is for 5 years, but, you know, you got to have that belief and know that it's going to take time. And, you know, just try. And it doesn't have to take a long time, but, you know, I think the belief partially is like, you know, just believing in yourself enough to be patient with yourself while you improve. Because for me, with all my creative endeavors that I feel like I'm a master at, I started at the bottom, and I had to climb up. And it's not like anyone gave me a handout. No one taught me, like, you know, how to do it. I had to figure it out myself, and I learned from other people along the way. But, you know, I had to believe in myself enough to give myself a chance to actually grow into what I am. So, yeah, you know, belief is important, I think.
Man, that was really good. You know, you said 3 or 4 things I think that were key, and the number one, you know, you're talking about belief, you know, and also with patience. But from firsthand experience, from watching you grow, from just having an interest to make music to actually being a really dope music producer, yes, you have been extremely patient. But at the same time, though, you know, you put in the work, though. So like on the daily, you've been on it for years. And so, yes, you've been patient, but it's not like you're just kicking back, relaxing all day, thinking that all of a sudden magically you're just going to your skills are going to improve, but you've actually been putting the time and the energy into it.
Yeah. And, you know, for the first couple of years, I wasn't that good, you know, but if you do anything every single day for, you know, 4 to 6 hours a day, practically 7 days a week for 5 years, you know, you're going to get pretty good. So for me, it's like, you know, I had to persevere, and I wanted it so bad in the beginning when I started making music. I was like, even if I had $1 billion in the bank, my first priority would still be to become a good music producer. That was my thing. And so I persevered through all those shitty songs in the beginning, you know, and just, I like them now, but in the beginning I had to persevere and think, okay, it's worth it to get good at this. I know I'm not good yet, but I know if I keep going. And then I got to that point, but it's not like it happened overnight. It was like after, you know, 4 years, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty good now, you know, but that was after, you know, every single day making beats for hours. And it was a labor of love, you know, and I followed my passion. I wasn't just making music to be cool. It's like, I was like, this is what I want to do, and this is what my soul wants to express. And a lot of people just want to do it to look cool, and they're not really into it, and they're just trying to get quick money and get a quick placement. And that's cool if that's how you want to do it, you know, be a beat maker, make a beat for an artist you don't even listen to, and just to get paid quick. That's okay. But, you know, to me, I'm like, I want to do something real, and I'm just connecting to my heart. So, you know, if you can find your passion, you know, actually do it. Like, you know, I have respect for the other music producers who are just trying to get paid, but it's like, you know, this to me is more than that. It's like, this is like, you know, I'm like really trying to tap in and, you know, put my energy only in places that I actually like, you know, that I actually vibe with. Because half these rappers, like, they're cool, but I don't mess with most of them. So it's like, you know, I don't want to give them my beats and have them rap on my songs. Like, even if it'll get me to the top faster, like, I don't care. I'm just like, I'm trying to do my thing and have my integrity. And I don't know, not trying to diss anyone who's on that other path, but this is just what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah. And it kind of sounds to me, maybe I'm just hearing it this way, but, you know, like you're being super selective about who you want to collab with and who you're going to collab with. And so it kind of sounds to me, I'm not an expert on the law of attraction. I know about it as much as the average person knows about it. It's not that hard to figure out law of attraction, that you put out, you're going to attract that same type of thing back to you. So it kind of seems like that's maybe what's in motion for you. Like, you know, you're putting that high frequency, that love frequency into your music, and then the law of attraction is going to bring that type of individual, that type of rapper, that type of artist that's going to collab with you that'll naturally fall onto your path. Are you open to that?
Yeah, exactly. And let me elaborate too a little more. I'm not trying to say that like these other artists are not good and these other rappers are not good. I'm just saying for me personally, my preference, they're not what I'm really vibing at. There's a ton of great artists out there and other producers who would want to work with them. So I'm not trying to diss any of them. I'm more just saying I've fine-tuned my frequency so much that like a lot of the guys who are out, it's not that I don't like them, it's just they're not really on my frequency, and that's okay. They're still great. So I'm not trying to hate on them, but yeah, to me, the whole spiritual thing, law of attraction, I don't talk about it as much, but it's completely, I think about it just as much as day to day, and a lot of people are not super open to that stuff, but to me, it's like, you know, completely on my thing. So that's why I try to fine-tune my energy and, you know, just align to the right frequency so that way I can attract the right people, you know, and so a lot of people think the spiritual thing is the whole mumbo jumbo, but to me, it's like I owe everything to that, but also balance with the physical practicality as well. So I don't know. I guess the key is just, you know, you got to tap in, you know, and just tune your energy. And, I just, to me, it's a huge part of it. And, a lot of people believe in it, a lot of people don't, but I don't focus on that. And I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but, it's a huge part of my process, And so, yeah, I'm just definitely open to the right artists. And I know to get there, I just got to keep fine tuning. And if I work with other artists I don't mess with, that's me not being in my authentic frequency. The more I could be in my authentic frequency, the more likely I am to attract people who are actually like aligned to that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so this is so good. So 2 things that I just heard. Number 1 is fine tuning my frequency, and I just think that's really, really good. And so as we're getting towards the end of this episode, it's been awesome so far. So fine tuning your frequency. So if someone was to say, okay, that sounds good, Metroverse, but I want to fine tune my frequency, how can I do it?
I think it has to do with everything. I'm ultra selective about the music I listen to, the shows that I watch, the media I consume, the thoughts that I think, the words that I say. So it's like, that's why a lot of times I don't look at the news. I do sometimes, but not really. I'm mindful about what I think, about what I read, about what music I listen to. Like I grew up on a lot of hip hop and rap, but most of it I don't listen to anymore because these people are saying things that I don't want to have in my mind. So it's like nothing against them, but it's like I don't want to put that image in my mind or that thought in my mind if I don't want to attract it in my reality. It's like movies. Like I don't watch scary movies anymore. I don't watch drama. I don't watch violent movies. I don't want that in my life. I don't want that energy. So I'm so selective about my frequency, and I even get annoyed when people around me are not being like that. Not annoyed, but it's like if someone else is drawing energy that I don't like, I don't want to be around them. And not to be you can't be too picky because obviously you got to navigate the world, but that's what I'm saying when it comes to fine tuning your frequency, like everything. So if I don't want to experience it in my reality, I do my best to not put it in my mind. And same with the music, like a lot of the rap, I had to let it go. We had to save rap from the gutter. It's like rap, like that's why it's like I feel like me being a rapper and music producer, like I want to rap about positive things and, and things that I actually want to experience and helping to influence the community in a positive way instead of putting like kids are going to listen to your songs. And if you're talking about violence and stuff, well, what are you going to do? You're going to influence them. So it's like, I just think as an artist, you have a responsibility to, to be mindful about what you put out there. And, and music I've realized is like so powerful. It's like, it's to me, it feels like magic. And so that's why it's like, I'm so mindful. Like when I make my music and I do my rhymes, like I'm trying to only say things that I really want to attract and want to experience. And so, yeah, fine tuning your frequency. This is just my opinion, but it feels like, everything you say, that you think and you do and you feel, like the energies that you feel as well, that all affects what you attract and it affects your aura. So to people who are listening who aren't spiritual, it's going to sound a little out there, but to me, that's just my experience. And this is how I've been experiencing my process and my journey. So that's about it. I'm not saying that's the truth or whatever, but that's just to me, like what feels like is real,
Oh, okay. Well, so the cool thing about what you just said is that there's some practical steps, like some real action steps that people could take today. Like pay attention, be mindful about what you consume, about the news you watch, about the music that you listen to, about the thoughts that you think. Like basically, so that's how you can fine tune your own frequency by just basically being mindful. I love it.
And to add, it's not to ignore, like say there's something going on and it's not good. It's not to just ignore it. I'm not saying that, but it's more just a matter of like, if you're walking around day to day, if you're constantly just getting bogged down by what you're hearing and reading and it's affecting your overall energy and frequency, you're not really helping the problem. It's like, it's good to know what's up, but still commit to maintaining your high vibration. And like, even if there's bad things going on, like don't go around dwelling on it all day. It's like, if you actually want to help change the world, like try to change your energy first and, obviously do practical things. I'm not saying it's all spiritual and there's no physicality, but I guess just for me, I've realized like the best thing I can do to help the world right now is like just bring good energy and help other people, because if I can help brighten someone else's day, they might do that to someone else instead of spreading negativity, and negativity can really mess people up and make it hard for people to want to go outside. So, it's like, I don't know, just keep it positive, I guess.
Yeah. And you know what, like exactly this last little piece that you just said in a really, really elegant way, by the way, that's basically what I've been trying to do with Positosis. Like, basically, that's the message right there.
Yeah.
You want to change the world, change your energy. That's, man, woo, Positosis plays. You heard it straight from Metroverse.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Yeah. Well, Positosis players, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Metroverse for coming and hanging with us today. Metroverse, can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
Can I ask you to come back on the show on one of the next episodes, and you can do the world premiere of the Positosis rap?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's do the Positosis rap.
Also, too, go to soundcloud.com/Metroverse. That's soundcloud.com/Metroverse, METROVERSE. Go listen to some dope beats, the dopest beats you ever heard, dopest beats you ever seen. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Okay, one more time and even slower. Where do they go to catch your stuff?
SoundCloud.com/Metroverse. And that's METROVERSE. Yeah, SoundCloud.com. And that's or you can go on Instagram and it'll link you there too. Or Metroverse1111.com. It'll also link you there too. So just but basically the SoundCloud is where it's at. So yeah, go there, listen to some beats.
Yeah, you heard of Positosis players. Hey, so once again, Metroverse, thank you very much. Positosis players, thank you for tuning in. It's all good. Positosis is Moses.
Yeah.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Peace out.